What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Kiwan. I am back with Belle Collective, Birmingham, Season 1, Episode 7, The Last Supper. My apologies for this being extremely late. I have the review. I have the reunion. I'm super glad that it was just one reunion. But yes, so like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell button because y'all finna get a slew of videos today. And the rest tomorrow. Hopefully I should be caught up. If you check my community board, I no longer am doing any housewife shows except for Rhode Island. So I won't be picking up and I won't be continuing. I'm so sorry. I really do feel like I have let y'all down in some ways by not doing it, but because it annoys me to the 10th power, to the point of a disturbance of my mental health, I'm like, yeah, no. So I take the ratchery of OWN, and I'll even take the ratchery of the love after lockup, okay, because I kind of enjoy the ratchery of those things. But the housewives is just, I don't know, I'm just not enjoying it. And when I'm not enjoying it, I feel like my content, the way I'm giving it, is not going to be enjoyable. And when I load to do something, I don't want to do it. Like, I'm firm. I really tried, y'all. I really tried. Like, But, you know, I still have 1,001 other things that I am reviewing, so check those things out. And another thing, let me say this. I do have subscribers. I have regular subscribers who do view my shows. And so I appreciate y'all so much. And I'm so sorry to y'all. I'm so sorry, but I hope y'all forgive me. But I do have Rhode Island on deck because the hoes been, tripping. Anyway, this not about Rhode Island. This not even about Atlanta. This is about Belle Collective, The Last Supper. All right. So all the ladies are still at Stormi's house. Now, Stormi hadn't already kicked Tiffany out because they done got into it. And so now the ladies are complimenting Stormi on her hosting and how nice everything was. So Stormi tells the ladies, she didn't want to show up in that manner, but Tiffany was showing her ass. So after that, Stormi decided she wanted to check in with Amber, and since Amber and Tiffany are friends. Amber said that she's pretty sad. Okay, Amber. Like, when I tell y'all, Amber was my absolute least favorite. Like, I absolutely not. Okay. Anyway, I am happy that Amber is getting her IVF treatments, and we'll talk about, the blessing that came out of her IVF. So I'm happy for her in that aspect. So anyway, Amber gets her IVF treatment from Stormi, and the ladies decided to do a burn and release. So I wanted to kind of take a real quick go over of the burn and release. Sonetta, she's releasing fear. Amber didn't want to share hers out loud. Fumi is releasing self-doubt. Kayla is releasing self-doubt. And what I gather from her and from what else she was releasing was people pleasing. Stormi is releasing a spirit of I wish a bitch would. Okay. I mean, I'm not mad at that. I do have a question though. Y'all can drop down in the comments and just let me know what are the things y'all have released or want to release or will, haven't done it yet but will release. For me, I've released the not worrying about what people think of me and how I move. And I tell y'all, that had such a hold on me years ago. Like, literally, it's been about 3 years since I've gotten out of that space. It was so bad that I didn't have my own brain. Like, I felt like everybody's thoughts, everybody's opinion and thoughts were more, for my life, were more important than me. And whatever they thought about me, it affect everything how I moved, except for me going to school and except for me being a mom. Anything else I've done, I felt like everybody was a better decision maker in my life than I was. Yeah. I'm so glad not to be in that space anymore. Girl, G up. Okay. So y'all know I'm a little crybaby, so but it is important that those things that are hindering, could be a hindrance to y'all, those things that you want to release, you should. Like, it's a process. It's not an overnight thing. So if somebody tell you to just do it, it's a struggle. But give yourself grace, one day at a time, and release those things off of you. And sometimes it tends to try to come back. But, continue to do whatever it is you're doing to release those things off of you. That's all I wanted to say. That was free. So anyway, Stormy, next day, Stormy and her family head to the Civil Rights Museum, but it was closed. And her mom had said something about colors, and Chase was like, are they gonna have crayons in it? Like, it was just so cute and so funny because he's so innocent, y'all. He's so innocent. So Stormy lets her mom know that this is where her and Tiffany got into it. And her mom, got on to her and was like, y'all, she let her know that y'all getting into it wasn't the time or the place, especially since across the street was the church where the 4 little girls were bombed years ago. And yeah, it was a good moment with her mom. I'm liking Miss Betty in these moments. Like, I understood her in Love and Marriage Huntsville. Let's be all the way clear, okay? Because she wasn't wrong in some of the things that she said. She just seemed so angry. And now Miss Betty comes off very, very calm, and I'm okay with that. Like, I am enjoying seeing Miss Betty on my screen. So anyway, we're at Tiffany's Still Choosing launch party. Girl, I just want a shameless plug. I went on Tiffany's, y'all know I follow everybody on Instagram, right? So I went on Tiffany's website. Her sweaters are $35, so everything is between $13 and $35. So if y'all want to go buy some merch, that's how much it is. It's inexpensive, okay? She ain't like pricing like She by Sheree, okay? I'm just saying. Like, I saw the one with the singles. I really wanted to get it, and I'm glad that, I want to say this. I am glad. I didn't understand what the hell the whole situation was about. I'm going to say that. I didn't understand it. And if you did, drop it down in the comments and let me know. But I'm assuming it was about choosing, her and her partner choosing one another. But again, it just didn't grasp my attention. But, sell your merch. Get your stuff out there. But I absolutely am going to buy a sweatshirt. It was single. I hope it didn't say saving and single, because baby, I'm not saving and single. I'm just single, okay? And I ain't giving it up, okay? That's my choice, okay? You know what? That wasn't. Let me just move on. Erica, focus, girl, focus, okay? So apparently, she invited the ladies to her choosing launch party the day before, and I'm like, Tiffany, girl. Okay, Tiffany. So y'all know I live for some raggedy hoes, okay? Tiffany's cousin Kayla and her friend Kendra. Cause if y'all already know, I already did not like Kendra. Don't like Kendra. I tolerate Tiffany, but I didn't like Kendra, and I definitely don't like Kayla. These two are the type of hoes that enable Tiffany to show up in the behavior that she shows up in. They give bully And I will cuss each of them out every time I see them. Sorry, I got loud. I got triggered. So anyway, Tiffany lets them know what happened at Stormy's event and how she got kicked out of the event. Kendra said, Kendra said that you had friends there and they didn't back you up. Tiffany said, you already know I'm 10 toes down by myself. She was. She was, just like, I ain't gonna lie. Let me say this. She was eating them the fuck up at that reunion. I'm sorry. Tiffany was on foot on neck. Whether I agreed or disagreed, but foot was on neck at that reunion. Tiffany came with what she came with. Anyway, Kendra said, but you had actual friends there. And her cousin Kayla says, girl, you need to check your circle. So again, as I stated, these are two women that give Tiffany a reason to behave the way she does. She is condescending. Tiffany is a bitch. I'm sorry. I told y'all she's a nice, nasty church lady, but she is a bitch. Let's be all the way clear. Okay? She be right in some of her stuff, but sometimes she really is condescending. Like, girl. So, let me see. Tiffany, I want to say this. Oh, no, not yet. Tiffany explained, the whole choosing situation. She asked everybody in the audience for feedback. And I will say this. Everybody gave her good feedback on her merch. They told her not to just have black and white. Make sure, the letters are, you can see the letters. Make sure you get a quality vendor. Make sure it's just not one color, sizes. And I felt like the feedback was good. And I would like Tiffany, by the time, if we get a season 2, and I'm sure we will, we get a season 2, she has different merch. And you are wearing your merch. Like, I don't know if they can wear their merch. Like, the ladies on Bravo, they wear their merch, but I think they have to pay Bravo or something. So, I hope she's promoting all of her merch like all of the other ladies. Anyway, all of the ladies get an invite. And Stormy sends an invite to all of the ladies for her dinner. And Fumi goes up to Tiffany and she asks if she got the text. Tiffany was like, and these are these moments where I have to clock the piss out of Tiffany. Because she was like, Fumi was nice. She was like, well, hi, Tiffany, Stormy sent all of us a text, and I just wanted to know if you received the text because your name was mentioned in the text. Paraphrasing, y'all. I'm paraphrasing. So Tiffany said, my phone is dead. Why the fuck you got an attitude? Girl, when I tell y'all, Tiffany does have stank ass energy when it's not warranted. When it's warranted, I'm okay with it. When it's not warranted, I can't. So I feel like this was her being passive aggressive because she decided, she was like, well, I don't want to go. So Fumi tells Tiffany how Stormy got emotional about her reaction, about how she reacted, and that she was open to working things out with Tiffany. She also tells Tiffany that Stormy said how Stormy and Tiffany are a lot alike. So then Kendra was like, Kendra, Miss Mayor, girl, shut the fuck up, because we didn't ask for that. Kendra want to be seen so damn bad. She want a problem so bad. You keep saying, like on the reunion, Tiffany said how Stormy has millions. I think she said it throughout the season. Tiffany, Your minion is literally Kendra. She's literally your minion. Like, right, wrong, or indifferent, she gonna step for you. So anyway, Tiffany doesn't think that her tears were, she doesn't think that Stormy's tears were sincere. And she felt like Stormy was just trying to connect with the other Bells. So Kayla asks, Kayla, I'm thinking about the girl Kayla. Cousin Kayla asked the ladies, why did Tiff leave alone? Why didn't anyone leave with Tiff? So Sonetta and Fumi call themselves giving an explanation, and I'm looking at them, well, why y'all, who is she? Who is she? Who is she? Because I would have been like, ma'am, who are you? Why are you talking to me? Like, anyway, so Kayla felt like, that was a long trip for Tiffany to leave by herself. Amber was like, listen, I don't want to keep talking about it because she was like, I care about both ladies. Kayla asked Amber, did you tell your friend she was wrong? Amber was like, you wasn't there, so you need to have a separate conversation with Tiffany, and then you can come back to me later. Then Kayla turns around and said, well, I was just asking. No, you was trying to be a smart ass, and Amber clocked you. But hold on, Amber, because you had a lot of smoke for K apostrophe L-A, but K-A-Y-L-A, you was real low in your tone. Well, what did she say? You wasn't there. Girl, if you don't give her that same energy that you gave this Kayla over here, I mean, I'm just saying, I'm just pointing it out. Y'all already know I don't like Amber. I don't see it for Amber at all. Sorry, I'm throat dry. So, I'm just saying. So anyway, in the next scene, Sam and Fumi meet up. Sam tells Fumi that they need to reconsider keeping their house, reconsider keeping their house keeping their house on the market. Fumi is like, Sam is tripping. I want to keep my house on the market. Sam wants to take the house off the market. And so there's this back and forward thing. And when we hear Fumi and her, how her and Sam navigate through the finances, I really think Fumi is wrong in this moment. I think Fumi isn't considering anybody but Fumi. You want what you want, and again, I'm going to stand on this hill. You keep trying to live up to Stormy or the Joneses or whomever. Like, you literally is trying to keep up. You guys have a beautiful home. You have a 5-bedroom home, just like this home. I just feel like you're doing extremely too much, and you're trying to keep up with this, I guess, an influencing lifestyle or whatever, and I want you to have that lifestyle for me. Be very, very clear. I want you to have that lifestyle, but not at the risk of one person putting all of this on his shoulders, and not at the risk of your finances that you know nothing about, as she stated in a reunion. I'm just saying, Fumi, So anyway, Last Supper. The ladies arrived. The decor is beautiful. We found out, all the ladies arrived. So, except for Tiffany, she hadn't shown up yet. So Amber lets the ladies know that she has 23 embryos. Shout out to her. And she wants to find a husband. And I'm looking at Amber like, okay, Amber. Amber, girl. Living your truth. I'm just saying. But something tells me Amber doesn't even want to be married. I just think that Amber should have these babies. I don't know how this whole IVF process go, but I think she should have these babies. if she doesn't want to be with anybody, I do think that she should not listen to her mom and just go out and grab some husband. And and if somebody that Amber is desiring, a man that Amber is desiring, that wants the same things that Amber's want, that aligned, that is in alignment with Amber, then I'm okay with that. But anybody else that's on bullshit, don't even go near that lady. Okay? Yeah. Don't even waste that lady's time. But I want Amber. Amber seemed like she would be an amazing mom. She seemed like she would be an amazing mom. And that's what I do see. I do see that in Amber. So anyway, Fumi tells the girls about Sam wanting to take the house off the market. And I agree. So then the ladies talk about the whole Kayla situation. Kayla asking the ladies why didn't Tiffany leave with anybody? I mean, why didn't anybody leave with Tiffany? Amber tells Stormy, because the ladies tells Stormy that Amber, kind of set Kayla straight at Tiffany's event. And Stormy was me. How did that cousin know? Because the cousin felt like Stormy was wrong. So again, my question, and I'm with Stormy, how did the cousin know she was wrong? How did the cousin know? Why? Because Tiffany was being messy. She told her cousin, she told Kate, whatever her best friend name is, and she told her husband and whoever else would listen. But I still feel like you didn't have to put that lady out and throw that lady. Like, that lady drove all them hours to come to you, and I just still feel like something else could have been done. But just to send that lady off like that, I just don't agree with that. I just wouldn't. So anyway, but I get it, and that's another thing. If somebody piss you off to a point, then you gotta be like, okay, I need to protect my peace. Because Tiffany is a great antagonist. And although Tiffany wants to be the nice, nasty church lady, Tiffany absolutely fits that villain role. But she absolutely will clock you. And I think everybody looks at her as the villain. I think once everybody found out she was the church lady, that's when everybody immediately shut the blinds on her. That's my opinion. I kind of like Tiffany. I like all the ladies. I just don't fool with Amber. I'm not I'm not a fan. There are things that I can do without with each lady, but with Amber, I'm just trying with her. That's all. So anyway, where am I? So Tiffany shows up with this mink coat. Girl, there's another telltale sign that I feel like there's a little sniff of jealousy going on you, sis, because did you really have to show up with that? Like, it's almost like you were trying to low-key flex. And it may not look like that to everybody, but just to me, that's how that looked. But you're here, and we're glad you're here. So she walked in and said, your favorite Belle is here, being an antagonist. I mean, that's her role. So anyway, Stormy just immediately apologizes to Tiffany. Tiffany apologized to Stormy. Fumi feels like that their apologies are not true, and I agree, and they swept it under the rug. So we realize that Amber still don't fool with Kayla. You want to keep having a problem with the weakest link on the show, and that's my problem with you, Amber. My biggest problem with Amber is you're very sad about Stormy and Tiffany not being friends, but you're creating beef with Kayla because she didn't speak to you. Girl, grow up. So anyway, Stormy washes the lady's feet. She wants to wash the lady's feet because she wanted to be humble. So Tiffany asked, and for me, I'm looking at Tiffany, and it felt like a little steam of jealousy was brewing inside. So she decided to ask Stormy to challenge Stormy. I don't know if it was humbling or what, but she was like, "Do you know the meaning of Jesus? I mean, washing the feet of Jesus?" And I was like, Tiffany, did you have to? I feel like you wanted to. I feel like you was trying to get another aha moment, another I got you moment from Stormy. Because just in case she didn't know, you could have stepped in and tried to course correct her, to try to one up it. I don't know. I just feel like something disingenuous was behind your question, girl, and I be trying to ride for you. I really do. But sometimes you just don't give me no choice. So anyway, Tiffany got on my nerves with that. So the ladies decided they decided to wash Stormy's feet. And Fumi was like, listen, I'ma just supervise. So Fumi didn't want her feet to be washed. She said that she didn't have a pedicure or something like that. But she also felt like this wasn't an appropriate. The Last Supper wasn't an appropriate situation. She said all of this in her confessional. And then they're going to talk about that at the reunion. So Stormy, the last thing she did was surprise the ladies. The picture that they all took at her house was on a billboard. And I thought that picture was so nice because under the picture it says our ancestors' wildest dreams. And I just thought that was a very, very nice touch with our African American women in the state of Alabama. And to have our ancestors' wildest dreams. I really thought that was dope. That was the end of the season. I enjoyed it. I thought that Tiffany, please bring Tiffany back. And as much as that friend of hers, that mayor's wife, get on my nerves, we can bring her back. Sonetta was fine. She was like a happy medium for me. I liked Amber on the show. Even though I need Amber to not beef with Kayla, I need you to figure something out. Okay, even though Amber worked on my nerves, even though she was fine, I was fine with Amber on the show. However, she worked on my nerves to the point of nauseum picking with Kayla. Because again, Gummy Bear is a little bit of low-hanging fruit. Y'all already know that. So, yes. Anyway, that's all I got. Okay, this is your girl Kiwan reminding you to keep showing up, keep growing, stay true to yourself, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.